I got him over.
What's what's up, PV family? This is none other than your boy Dr. Proctor, and of course, it's a big day because we are the 2025-2026 SWAC men's basketball champs. That's right, Prairie View A&M University. Today, I'm sitting in for my boy Lionel Mosley as he handles some business. But make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than Mr. Dontae. I
What's
want to
up,
call him
man?
Mr. Dontae Bombs Away, is what I want to call him. Horne is on, man. He's the 6'4" wing slash point guard starting man for our Prairie View Panthers. Call him champ now. That's what you can call him. What's up,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dontae?
yeah.
definitely.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Man, we're great, man. How does it feel to be a champ?
Man, it's still crazy. I wake up every day since the past couple of days and been like, wow, I really just won. So it's still a shock to me. I ain't gonna lie, it's still crazy.
Man, cutting down those nets, you know, um, how does that feel? You've probably seen that on television a million and one times.
And
How did it feel being in that moment?
it was a dream come true. As a basketball player, you always dream about winning a championship, regardless of where it is. I was able to win one at the D1 level, so it just feel like a magical moment. Just to go up there and cut them nets down, just cut a piece, and then just to have it, it's just like, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you've basically won everywhere you've been, right? So, however, this situation is totally different because you are absolutely the man of the tournament, right?
Yeah, yes,
So
sir.
So let's relive some of this because I don't want to act like this moment didn't just happen for us. I'm excited because obviously, I wouldn't say obviously, but I was on New York in 1998 when we went to the tournament, and it was a big deal. So I want to
Yeah,
make sure that we live in this moment and relish this opportunity to talk to you about the experience. All right,
yes,
so
sir.
you're in Atlanta. It's going down. Obviously, the squad is on a run. We're talking
Yeah.
about let's go through that whole experience. Um, Ending the season and starting the tournament, the team just started pulling it together. What do you think were the key factors in that unity that the team had?
I feel like we just locked in on defense. Like coach always preached defense, and we finally came together as a team and just like, you know what, we're gonna start. We need to lock up. Like that's where our weakness at. And coach had inserted Corey Dunning into the starting lineup. He's a 5 man that can guard like 1 through 5. So we went through this phase of switching everything, and then when we started switching everything, everything just started to flow. So coach stuck with it. We liked it. Everybody liked it. Nobody complained, and our defense started gelling over into our offense, and the chemistry on the offense started getting way better. So it started with our defense.
That's such a huge thing because if you're not a basketball player, you don't know the struggle of having to fight through picks every time you're being picked, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, coaches is now letting you switch,
yeah,
and that just makes the game so much easier. Now you're not exhausted at the end of the game. You're not frustrated from fighting through picks all game. So Coach mentioned that as well. So
yeah.
in that moment in the real live game action, tell me how much of a difference did that actually make for you as a player?
Coach actually called the switching soft, but it worked, so he just stuck with it. But it made me feel it was easy. Like I switching, it was led by Corey Wells. He was talking a lot on the backside,
Ah,
pointing people into directions, and we was just listening. Corey always is like one of our vocal leaders. He's always the one that's gonna speak up, regardless of the situation, and he's one of our defensive anchors alongside like Corey Dunning too. So it's like once you started to switching, Corey started both of the Corey started talking more, and once them two started talking, like then it started to be Lance, and it started to be me, and then it was like Joey or Elijah who was in, or even Scoot. Well, Scoot was out, but Elijah who like whoever else started their position, everybody just started talking, and talking made it easier for us to switch, and switching made it easier for us to defend.
When y'all won the first game in the tournament, at what point did you feel like, or did the team feel like, okay, we have a chance to run the table?
We feel like they're coming in. Actually, we did not look over Alcorn because you know how hard Alcorn play. But when we won that first one, we felt real good, and it was like we just kept talking in there like, hey, this can be something real. This can happen. Like I feel like we actually like we've been on a run. Like this has been like 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. Like
Yes, yes,
this ain't no fluke to us. Like it's probably new to some people, but it ain't no fluke to us. So.
yes. So many of you are from so many different areas. You know, you have Don, you have Wells, you have Joseph, you have yourself. Y'all are from different parts of the country: Louisiana, Toronto, Canada, Memphis, Tennessee. How did you come together as a team? At what point in the season did y'all gel? Because so many of you, this is your first time in a Panther jersey, but
Yeah.
somehow you got it done. What was the main thing that helped you guys gel as a team, do you
Well, it took a little time because like you said, we all from different places and people take things differently. But we started to gel like more towards like the middle slash end, like February probably. I mean, we had good chemistry January and stuff and like before
think?
like preseason and stuff like that, but we went on like a little drought and like around February is when like we kind of picked it back up. And what made it easy was like the core group was like so the core group is like from Louisiana, and I'm
Yeah.
part of the core group, and I'm from Memphis. So it's like it's not really a difference between those two places. So
Mm-hmm.
once we started coming along, other places, you know what I'm saying, like other places, other teammates started coming along too, and everybody just came together. So it really started with the main core. Like I said, the main core is really like Lance, Corey Dunn, Corey Wells. Even Scoot was part of the main reason we was gelling too, because he was even though he was out, he was hurt, he was still talking to us. He was still like he was trying to help as much as he could. He try to coach up players, try to build confidence in the younger ones that's starting to play now, which now they doing good. So like Scoot was also a big part of that thing too.
Man, that was a huge turning point in the season because once he went down, honestly, as PD Nation, we were concerned. We were like, oh my God, who is going to step up and make this thing happen? And obviously, you did that. Let me pass the mic. I don't want to hog the mic because I really can. I'm so excited. But go ahead, bro.
Nah, you good, Dr. Proctor. I'm gonna let you, you was running the table. I don't know, I'm gonna let you go. I
Okay,
did.
okay, I'll
I
run with
did.
it.
I did
So
take it back to Corey
go ahead.
Dunn. Dante, I asked coach, he had brought up how important getting Corey Dunn back in the lineup was to
Yeah.
that kind of switch everything defense. I
Yeah.
want to ask you that same question, and from a kind of a player's perspective, getting Corey Dunn back in that lineup and how that kind of just improved y'all's defense.
Yeah, Codon is like a lot of guards want. He's gonna do his job. He's gonna go hard. He's gonna defend. The last thing he worried about is scoring. Everything else is he appreciate it. Everything else he worried about is defending and rebounding. So we went on a drought of trying to see like, okay, what big are we gonna play? And Corey probably went on like a 2-3 game stretch with a DNP. And but you wouldn't know, like Coach said, you wouldn't know. He would come to practice, still go hard, you know what I'm saying, still talk, still be that guy. So him putting Corey Dunn back into the starting lineup is why the defense made why it was so better because Corey can defend 1 through 5. And he gonna talk too. He's gonna be a vocal leader. So he, like I said, him and Corey Wells is our anchor.
And that leadership, what I'm saying, you kind of did step up as a leader. As Dr. Proctor said, when Tarion Joseph went down, I was a part of that group that was like, man, I didn't know where the scoring was going to come from, but you stepped up too. And I mean, I mentioned it to you after Selection Sunday, I gave you the number that you have been averaging. I think I told you at the time was like 26.7 points per game since
Yeah.
that game that Tarion had went down. And I was like, we both tried to stop for a moment in the interview because we was like, dang, like, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy.
That's no easy feat, especially at this level. Like, and I wanted to ask how much of that injury did like when Tarion did go out, how much did that like play into your mindset when you was like, okay, you know what, we need a bucket. I'm gonna kind of try and step up to be that guy.
Yeah. So when he went out, it was really before he even went out, it was like a 1-2 punch anyway. So
Yeah,
I mean, scoring wasn't hard for me because you had somebody in front of you scoring averaging 20 and making it easier for me to score. So it's like a 1-2 punch anyway. But when he went down, I didn't have like no switch or I didn't have like no, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Only thing I thought about was winning. Now, Scoot is my roommate.
Hmm.
So when he went out, he the one that filled the confidence into me, like, hey, look, we need you to score. We need you to go be that guy. Like, we need you to do this and do that. And I'm like brushing it off because I'm like, you'll be back, but I'll try to hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to win, you know what I'm saying? But I really didn't have like no switches like, okay, I need to go in, I need to do this, I need to do that. I came in to just win because I knew we had somebody down, which 20 points, losing 20 points is crazy.
bro.
But then the 20 points, the guy that's averaging 20 points starting installing more confidence into me.
Yes,
Now it's like, okay, if he see it that I see it, obviously I can hold us down. And like I said, it just wasn't me. It was Lance, it was
mm,
Corey Wells. It's like everybody started stepping up. So it wasn't just me, it was the whole team. But I'm just getting
yeah.
the big portion of it because I'm doing the most scoring.
So averaging 26, even averaging 20 in the tournament is more than you've averaged your entire college career. Um, that's a huge jump. Did you ever
Mhm.
imagine that you can average that many points, at this level, or did you feel that you had it in you, you just didn't have the opportunity to do it before?
Yeah, I always knew I had it in me, but like you said, I had it in me, but I didn't have the opportunity to, which is okay, which is what I'm saying. I had
Team
to
ball.
I had to go play a role which I wasn't used to. And
Hmm.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Did we lose them,
Think you might be muted, Dante.
Dante? Hello.
Either lagging or he might be muted.
Let's give him a couple minutes, real quick.
Dante, can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Mic check.
They might have lost connection for a second.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it. All right. So let's talk one on one.
All right,
So we made it past the first round. Is he back? We can't hear you.
well, while he figures that out, I did
Yeah.
want to throw it to Hoop Jargon in the chat. We want to look for the comments real quick. He
Go
wanted to
ahead.
ask Dante when he does come back. We'll get this question off to him. That he wanted to ask Dante what made him choose PV, and I did want to also know that question because out of all the schools, I don't know if you saw Dr. Proctor. Coach Smith actually made a comment about this because somebody did ask him in the post game press conference.
Yeah.
PV obviously doesn't get a lot of NIL money, so what makes these players choose this SWAC school? So
No doubt.
I wanted to, while we let Dante reconnect, I wanted to ask you, what do you think plays into that?
Well, Dante was at Texas State his first go around, and
You
then
hear
he
me?
Oh,
hello.
yes.
You there?
Bet. Okay.
Cool. Cool. Just in time, brother. We have a question from the chat, and the question really is regarding recruiting. What made you choose Prairie View? We know that you had several options on the table, and so we want to know. Help us out. Give us some insight. What was that recruiting process like? What made you choose PV? And ultimately, do you think it was a great decision? And what do you like most about being on the hill?
Yeah, I had a couple schools coming out when I went into the transfer portal. It wasn't a lot. Obviously, I didn't have the best year before then, but my credits had messed me up. So a lot of teams started dropping out. But PV had hit me, and I was telling them like I just need the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to play because I felt like a lot of people was letting me like was overlooking me, like was shutting me out, and
Mhm.
like was thinking I was done. So PV seeing that PV stuck around, it made me feel like a relief as like somebody actually does want me. Like I actually can still play. So I decided to still come here. Like I told them I'm ready. I'm gonna come regardless, and I signed. And I ain't gonna lie, it's been wonderful ever since I got here. Not even just basketball, just like the community, and like just being around. Like it's been a lot better, like mentally for me, and I think that's why it's helping me out on the court.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, was Coach Smith your primary recruiter, and who reached out to you first?
Spence was my coach. Spence was my primary recruiter. Yeah, I talked to I think yeah, I talked to coach on Zoom. We did like a Zoom tour, but
Hmm.
Spence was my primary recruiter.
And then, at what point did you visit the campus? Did you visit the campus before you signed or after you signed?
No, it's crazy. I didn't visit the campus at all.
Really?
I had a virtual tour.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then, when you got to the campus, what did you think?
I think it was beautiful. You know, it actually is not a bad campus. Like I seen the other HBCU schools, obviously because we went there, and it's just
Yeah.
like it's a nice facility. You got a nice cafeteria. Like you got nice gyms. Like you got a nice football field. Like it's not it's actually beautiful. It's a gorgeous court. It's a gorgeous campus, and I'm like, hey, I like this.
Yeah. 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 You feel like you could do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there another question from the chat before we get back into the tournament?
I don't see one at the
Okay.
moment.
All right, so let's go to back to the tournament real quick. All right, so we get past the first round. Now we're in the second round of the tournament. That turnaround can be um, very interesting if you don't take care of your body, if you don't get your rest. Tell us about the preparation from game to game while in Atlanta, to, waiting for the between the first and the second round.
Well, shout out to our wonderful trainers because they was texting us and keeping up with us and making sure we came to get treatment and recover because they knew we would need our legs. And also shout out to our coaches, especially Coach Smith, because he's the type he doesn't eat much. He's on a strict diet, and his diet like requires like mostly like fruit,
Hmm.
and he don't really just like tell us to just eat fruit. I mean, he would say eat fruit obviously because you need to recover, but he'll just show us by like example because we'll have food. He probably don't get the food. You just probably see him with a bowl of fruit or like a salad. So it's like, and then we got our point guard Lance, probably one of the best nutritious eater on our team. He as a leader, he's not leading by like vocally, like example. A lot of people saying Lance eat good, Lance eat fruit, a lot of fruit. He eats all types of fruit, always have a gallon of water. So just seeing that, everybody started to tag along. And our coaches started bringing more fruit into the like our snack room. We had like bananas and oranges and stuff like that. So we started tagging. Everybody started to eat like that, and that was basically our recovery. Make sure we eat. Make sure we drink water. We're texting the group chat. Make sure we drinking water. Make sure we eating fruit. We
Yeah.
texted that literally after the game because we know we needed to bounce back, and bounce back. You need to be recovering well and eating well. So we was always saying in the group chat, make sure we're drinking water and make sure we're eating fruit and make sure we're going to recovery. So it was just an all around effort.
Yeah. Then okay, so you got past the second round and you're going into the third round of the tournament. I think we were playing what, FAMU? No, Bithune Cookman, right?
hmm
So now we're facing the number one seed in the tournament. What was that thought process like?
I was mentally locked in that game from that night. Like I feel like they got away when we was at Bethune. I didn't
Yeah,
really play my best.
yeah,
Scoot didn't really play his best, and we were still in the game. And I think they pulled away at the end, and I feel like they got it because of the refs.
yeah.
So I was mentally going in until okay, y'all really not better than us. Y'all just got lucky.
Hmm.
And I think once my teammates seen how focused and locked in I was, because they seen it from like the morning, even when we got to to the facility. I guess they seen how locked in I was in. Everybody locked in, and coach was like, before we went out there, he's like, you could just feel the focuses because we everybody was just locked in. So we was ready for Bethune. We already knew, like in our head, we already knew we gonna win.
And that's a huge confidence boost because Bethune came in number one. They beat so many teams during the regular season. Obviously, they got away with one against us. So I felt confident myself that we were going to beat Bethune, and it was just a matter of if the ball was going to go in or not, right?
Yeah.
How good of a shooting night, and if Lance was going to be able to control the rock and not turn it over, and really do what he normally does, and that is
Mhm.
control the pace of the game.
Mhm.
Talk about the band, man, because we were watching and we were like, okay, the band is there game one, the band is there game two, band is there game three. We were like, we turned it up in Atlanta. How did that help the team, as you're progressing through the tournament?
The band helped a lot. Like they got us going. They was lit. They was turned. I don't know if a lot of people paid attention, which
Yeah,
it really didn't matter. But after every game, I always show my hearts. Like I show the hearts to the fans, and I always show the hearts to the band because
yeah.
they was turning us up and we turning them up. So it was I had to show love to them because if they weren't here, it probably could have been a different story.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. The storm was a major factor. We saw it. I saw it on TV. I was like, man, we are doing it in Atlanta, and you can feel the energy. You can feel the
Yeah.
confidence on the court from the stands.
Dr.
You,
Parker,
Hmm.
I did
I don't
want
want to
to.
hog the mic. Go ahead, bro.
Now you guys want to jump in and take it to the chat. We
Go
had
ahead.
a question for Dante, and I actually saw this as well when I watched the press conference back. Richard had brought up a comment that Coach Smith made during the press conference about how about how you recruited PV more than PV recruited him. Kind of like that you really wanted to reach out and go to PV essentially. Could you kind of elaborate more on that?
Yeah. So I was at that point. I was like, I was sending my film to them before they even decide to even reach out to me. So my film and my message was already in. I don't know how I got Spencer's number, mind you. I don't know how I got it. But my message in my film was already in the thread before they actually hit me up. So once they hit me up, it started being like a back and forth and stuff like that. But I think I'm answering that question correctly. My film, I already sent my film. I already sent the message. I had to had to mind you, texting the coach first is something you got to do you got to put your ego aside for that at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So I reached out to a lot of coaches and I reached out to them and I had my film. I had how much I averaged. I had my number. I told I just needed the opportunity. I wanted to play. So I had all of that in the message. I hope I can go back. I wish I can go back, but I'm not lying. I had all that in the message first, and then Spence hit me up.
Uh-huh. And that kind of goes to what Coach Smith has said about you as well. He said this like multiple times, and honestly, I wholeheartedly agree with him. He's called you like the most impactful transfer. Oh, sorry, I thought I lost connection there for a second. He's called you the most impactful transfer at the college level this year. And I just wanted you to kind of speak about what that comment means to you, as well as also had another question that kind of plays into that transfer portal as well about, I've seen online a lot that, a lot of people have some preconceived notions about the SWAC and the level of play the SWAC has, let's just say it like that. And I kind of wanted to
Mhm.
you maybe compare a little bit of what you see in other conferences versus the SWAC.
Well, to answer your first question, I feel good that coach feel like that about me. The word is taking notice too. I've been told that I'm in the race. I'm a nominee for one of the best transfers. So that felt good to hear. I try to be humble with it. I try to be like, I'm all right. I don't want to hear. I ain't want to hear none of this until we won the tournament. So now I'm taking it in finally. I'm finally being like accepting it now. So not gonna lie, it feels real good to see that I'm. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my name out there. Also, so second question, what you say about the transfer portal? You was like,
A lot of people have some like preconceived notions about
compare.
the SWAC. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Just like maybe compare, other conferences versus the SWAC.
Okay, when it comes to the SWAC, it's still great competition. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I got put in a better position because it's still to me it's still real good competition. Like it's not no scrub league. I get what they saying, but it's literally not no scrub league. I was in the Sun Belt for 2 years, and I remember when I first went off, started going off. It was like the end of Texas State, and I was commonly just dropping 20 and like 15 and like 16, like towards the end. And so me doing it here is like I feel like it's the same thing. Like there's literally no bad players in the SWAC. Even like Mississippi Valley record don't show they actually have a good team. They actually have good players, and you have to go in there and actually play them. Even though like I said, they record don't show you actually have to go in there and play them. You can't take no sit back because they'll get you. Like they got two people this past season, so it's really no difference. It's just I feel like it's just how people just look at it. It's always about somebody's opinion. So that's all I can really say. You just
Yeah.
look at the SWAC and look at SWAC that way because of like people's opinions, and it to me it makes no sense. But whatever.
Agreed. Yeah, and before Dr. Proctor, we stopped at the Bethune game. I wanted to take it to the Alabama A&M game before we eventually got to the big dance. Let's work our way through this SWAC tournament. Alabama A&M game, the mindset going into that game. You know, I was watching, I watch every game, and I was watching the Alabama A&M game on our home floor where the game got ugly there, especially in the half. How much of that result earlier in the season kind of played into that tournament game when y'all had to face Alabama A&M?
Like I said, we was going through like chemistry issues. So that game, ain't gonna lie, that week both the Alabama teams like smacked us, and it wasn't because they was better than us. No, we was just having like problems, and every team, probably every new transfer team, would go through a stint, either before or during or after, where they had problems. I mean, it's gonna happen. So we had our problems, and like I said, we got towards the end of the tournament, got towards the end and into the tournament. We had already gelled good together, so we knew, we all knew in our head we would BS them. We lost them two games because of us. We didn't lose them two games because of them. Mind you, they did shoot pretty good, but we ain't making no better about how we allowed them to play like that. So we told ourselves we lost. We was ready to play whoever because we knew in our head every game we lost. We went on that stint of losing. We lost them games because of us. They didn't beat us. We beat ourselves, and that's how we felt through the tournament. Nobody can beat us. We can only beat ourselves.
And that's just a great answer, honestly. And I'm about to pass it back to Dr. P because I know you wanted to ask some questions about that, ultimately, that championship game against Southern. So I just wanted to pass it back to Dr. P and see, what you had to say about that Southern game personally, Dr. P.
Man, the Southern game, it never gets old beating Southern, right? If we could beat them every day of the week, I'd take it. You know what I mean? So I was definitely excited that we were playing Southern. I know it was a toss up. Who would we play between FAMU or Southern? I wanted to play Southern um, for the title and send them home. I know we have a couple Baton Rouge kids on the team, so I knew the Southern game would mean more to them, and they would bring their A game
Yeah.
because they are Baton Rouge boys. So in my mind, that was also part of my thinking that we needed to play Southern.
Hmm.
Uh, During the game, I felt that we did a great job at taking away their 3 point shots. In other throughout the tournament, Southern was really getting off from 3 point land. Dontae, tell us about our scheme as far as taking away their 3 point shots and just really defending them as a whole.
Yeah, we knew they had a couple of shooters. We played them
Hmm.
before the tournament. We split, obviously. Um, but like I said, it was the switching. Corey Corey Dunn has been able to guard anybody on the court. And if you have a 5 man that can guard a one that can guard 1 through 5, and then you
Yeah.
got a one that will willingly guard a 5,
Hmm.
it made it so much easier for them to push it, for us to push them past the 3 point line. And
Yeah.
if they drove, they was either gonna drive into us and have to force a shot up, and not be
Yeah.
able to kick it out because we kind of tall, we kind of big.
Yeah.
So even when they try to go inside, you have to make a great pass or you have to fight in there. You might end up getting an offensive foul trying to push Lance out the way because Lance is a stocky point guard. He's not little. He's going to work hard to not let you get the ball in. If you get the ball, you need to go run into a double team. Like it's just so much stuff. It's just like the switching. The switching is really what it is.
Yeah, man, Lance as a point guard, he had a 4 or 5 minute stretch where he was in the lane, finished with the left hand, pulled up in the lane, hit a floater. He was just really in his bag. In times like that, considering yourself and Joseph are typically the guys that are managing the shots and things like that. But when Lance is going, what do you kind of do? What is your plan? Are you just gonna like kind of float out to the wing and give him space? Is that a conscious decision or is it something that's just happening in the flow of the game?
It took, we Lance do this in practice all the time, but it took us so much telling him, bro, go score the ball. Lance will do his job. He don't care about scoring. He don't care
Yeah,
about none of that. He will just set up the play, run
yeah,
the play, pass it to the right person, do
yeah,
what he got to do. Me and Scoop would tell Lance all the time, bro, score the ball. We
yeah,
know you can score. Like, go score the ball. So
yeah,
every game, I always go up to him before the tip off. Hey, need you to be aggressive. Hey, need you to be aggressive. Just to remind him, like, Lance,
gotcha.
you a two guard converted to a point guard. You averaged 16, 17 before you got here. You know how to score the ball. We seen you score the ball. So when he get into his mode, when he just I always think whatever point guard we playing up against can't hold Lance. I
Yeah,
tell him that all the time. I'll be like, bro, I say another word, but I'm not gonna say it on here. I say, bro, they can't guard you, Lance. Go score the ball. So when I see him get into his bag,
yeah,
mind you, the other teams don't know. It's more than just me that can score on the team.
yeah,
So when I see him get to his bag, I kind of drift off. It's
yeah,
because I know when I drift off, it's gonna pull my man towards me. So he got an open lane to do his 1-2, 1-2. And when coach always say, Lance, shoot the ball. There's nobody on the team that will get mad for a shot you take. And that's
mhm,
true. Nobody would get mad. Everybody would be happy. It don't matter if he came to a 3-point line and did a hook shot. We will be happy that he shot the ball. So when he get into his 1-2, 1-2, as the stats show, he don't miss often. he
Mhm.
don't miss often. So hey, get into your bag. I told him that. I literally told him that the reason we won, I think Bethune or because we blew out Alabama. Bethune is because he came down and made clutch shots, which gave me the time to go seal it. I
yeah,
told him we would never won. Everybody's so focused on them two shots I made to win the game. Cool. That's all. I told him to his face. We would never won if you didn't go make them clutch shots. You made the most. You made the clutchest shot more than my shots. I just made mine at the end. That
yeah.
counted. Yours were clutch. Mine's just counted.
We
So
are definitely, you guys were definitely a stronger team when
Mhm.
Joseph, Lance, yourself, Wells, when y'all are like have at least 9 points or more, nobody knows who's going to shoot the
mhm,
ball, and when y'all are playing free like that, you're
mhm,
very hard to stop. In
mhm,
that championship game against Southern, in the first half, Southern made a run. I want to say it was a 6-2 or 8-2 run, but right before the half, uh, seconds are running down on the clock. Go ahead and run that back for us. Tell us about that.
um, it's just me. I want that last. I want that last shot.
Yeah,
I was gonna make a miss. I want it. Like I feel
yeah,
like I'm clutch enough. I want it. So mind you, they've been guarding me pretty good. In the beginning quarters, have denied me the ball. Like I started out kind of rough.
hmm,
But like I said, I always want that. I want that last shot. So forget all the shots I missed. I came down, I seen the weaker link. I
hmm,
called for the switch. Got the switch. I'm knowing. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna pass this. And I see they packing it in. And
yeah,
I'm like, I'm not finna try to force the drive either. I'm gonna shoot it in his face.
Yeah.
So I did a little move I always do. I always do this in practice. It wasn't that's why I didn't celebrate because it wasn't new to me. So when I did the move and I froze and I seen he was just like giddy. He was just like moving too much. So he's scared. I just sidestepped. I just was me. I just sidestepped and I just pulled up. I knew it was going in.
Yeah. Now it looked like you gave a pity pat with the left hand, like you were gonna drive, and he completely backed up.
Mm-hmm.
So it left your sidestep wide open.
Wide
It
open.
was like a mini James Harden because it wasn't a full skip or anything. It was just a basic sidestep, and when you pulled it, it was like bam. And then I saw you mean mug Southern's bench like you know y'all
I
going home tonight.
I gave him a stare down. I'm like, yeah,
Yes,
I'm
you
like that.
did.
I'm like that. The coach was what was funny. I don't know
Yeah.
the coach name. The coach who I was staring at, he was like,
Oh no.
Oh,
That's
you know the best story.
yes.
Let me see.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I think he gonna try and rejoin in a second.
Yes. I have to hear
Yeah.
this story.
I did want to say though that that sidestep and really
It
every
was
shot he made down
mean.
the
It
clutch.
was
Just,
mean.
I had a word that I would go to when I was writing my articles this year regarding Dante, and it was incredible because
Yeah.
my dad went to PV, so I've been kind of following the team through like my younger years as well when I enrolled at PV, and honestly, I think he might be the best player I've personally seen with my eyes come through PV, especially these last 5 or 6 years. So that was my word for Dante. Incredible
Incredible.
this year, man.
Yeah, the side step to end the half, it was a dagger because
y'all hear me?
we can hear
Yes,
you
sir.
now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know the coach name, but when I was looking at him, I was mean mugging. He was just like he gave a look like, that's a good shot. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that. I'm like that. You know that. You know this. I'm like that.
Yo,
I ain't even
that
had to celebrate. I just looked at him like, yeah, you know.
the look
Y'all
was a
know. I seen
celebration.
a couple of their teammates was just like the dude that was guarding me, he was just like, I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, y'all know. Y'all know.
and
It
as
don't
we
surprise y'all.
through
Yo,
the through as we
I
go through
was at home, crunk. Get up. And I'm like, thank you.
as we go through the SWAC championship, I wanted to know also before eventually transition into the Lehigh talks and the rest of the big dance and all that. I wanted to know like the motions, not only you but the motions you felt from your teammates and the coaching staff when that buzzer hit zero, because it did get a little crazy towards the end of the game for a second, especially when they cut it down to 2. I was like, hold on now, man. I sent out a tweet because I was like live tweeting the game. I said, oh, don't do this to me, man. I can't. My heart
Mhm.
won't be able to take
So,
it.
so let me ask. Okay, so it was a 10-minute mark, and
Mhm.
we're up by maybe 15, and it seems like we went into a stall game. Was that the plan, or
Mhm.
what happened
Um,
there?
we just have to make it interest for ESPN.
Oh,
That's the answer coach gave. You can't change.
Now for real though, it wasn't the stall game, but mind you, we play like all minutes of all games. So we was low key. I know me, I was tired. I was tired like from the beginning of the game, low key. But it started to hit us, like them games started to hit us low key. So we
yeah,
was like slow it down. Let's not try to rush because let's not try to rush and like just mess up. We was like slow it down a little bit and let's keep it at a steady range, like like points. Let's keep it at a steady range. So we wanted to keep it at like 18 to 15. So we wasn't in a rush, but they was. So I mean, it stayed around that time, but it like got when it got like to the 6 minute mark, that's when they started to come back. And now all I can say is we was just tired.
Yeah.
hey man, and you know what? I never imagined that, right? Because it's great that you said that because that never came to mind when we're looking at the game from our perspective. It doesn't look like it's fatigue. It looks like it's an intentional stall game to try to
Mhm.
milk the clock and try to just play keep away. So thank you for that transparency. But
Mhm.
at the same time, let me say this: we saw the PV fans in the building for that championship game, like along the sidelines. It was bananas. PV was in Atlanta for real. How did that carry you guys through for the victory?
That was great. We loved them. Like we loved that they came out and they were supporting. Like the whole bleachers like just feel PV
Yes,
gear, and we were like, oh yeah, this gonna be a game right here. We're gonna be lit, and that's what's contributing to our big lead we had.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can hear Swamp, you can hear um, Make My Funk P Funk through the TV. Like you can hear it. I'm singing it at home. It was a legit game day experience for Panther Nation, and we showed up in a big way.
Mm.
All
Mhm.
right. So then we clocked at zero and we won. It was surreal. How did you feel in that moment? Did you feel like hugging people? Did you know that all of Memphis was watching?
My
like
family was there. I mean, Memphis was watching, but my family was there. And I'm glad they did come. I'm glad they was able to experience me winning championship. But right before then, I got a steal. I was about to lay it up. I mean, first I was about to bring it out. I thought I'm trying to see what coach want me to do because sometimes he want me to bring it out. So I'm dribbling. I'm looking at him. I'm confused on what he's saying to do. I don't know if he's saying bring it out, score it, lay it up. I said, all right, I'm just gonna lay it up. I'm tired anyway. He went back down on the other end. I didn't even care. I was tired. Clock went off. I just laid on the ground. I'm like, I need this. I didn't put in so much work. I didn't play 40 minutes for 40 games. Let me lay down. Let me get a break real quick. And that break ended up ending real quick. My teammates rushed to me before I can even get comfortable on the floor. So I just needed a break, man. It was just a crazy moment, and I just needed to take it in for a few.
it was a crazy moment. It was a beautiful moment. It was
Yeah.
one that was unthinkable coming from the eighth seed to see Dr. Legrand and Golf, on the court and hugging, coach and the rest of the players and PV Nation on the court and the band. It was a great experience considering we just came from Atlanta and we didn't get the job done in football, but to come back a few months later and win it in basketball was great, man. We appreciate coach and the team and you guys for bringing that title back to the hill and doing that for us, man. We really do.
Yes, sir, for sure. I'm glad I was able to bring a title. I feel like it makes me feel good that I'm able to like years to come back and be like, wow, I actually won a title here. I actually did something.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Now, um, I'm sorry. Did you have any questions?
I did want to take it to the chat. We had a couple of chat questions that built up. First, we had one from our very own host, PV versus everybody, Mr. Lionel. He said, and this is a question I also kind of wanted for a minute as well. As a team, pretty full of transfers, and this is kind of
I need
especially
them pink shoes.
I saw that comment too. Uh, as a team that usually does have transfers, you go into those Texas Southern games, and that's a big rivalry game for PV. Always will be, always has been. Do those games feel like rivalries for y'all?
um, the first one did.
Mm,
The first one definitely did. I'm not gonna say the second game really.
mm-hmm.
The first one definitely felt like a rivalry game. We both came at each other like we both started off like talking mess. Like it was an intense game. Like and then how the baby dome is, like it was just so full and just so packed. It felt like one of those like the baby dome really made the tension. Like I couldn't hear nothing low key. Like I can hear nothing in there. So it felt like a rivalry game. It was like one of the games you want to actually be on the court. You want to be on the court for that game. Like them the games you slick live for.
And that
Yeah, the
makes me
Baby Dome is a great basketball arena because the
yes.
fans are right there on you.
Mm-hmm.
The
And that
second
makes
game,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Now you good.
not bad. The second game was all right. I mean, it was kind of packed, but we kind of took off. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it didn't feel like a rivalry game.
And in terms of like fans, like kind of being that force is usually, and I said we talked about this on this channel before, usually is unfortunately Texas Southern fans being more rowdy on the road. But that makes me glad personally that you got the
Mhm.
out of there this year, because I looked and I even said myself when I was watching the game, I was like, it's kind of empty this year. They must not have
Mhm.
this year, but I'm gonna save the rivalry talk before I get talking too crazy on it. I really get talking crazy about Texas Southern. I don't like that school. But we had another comment, and this is going to kind of be our transition into the Lehigh game and the big dance. We punched our ticket. I want to say congratulations again. This
Yes,
is such
sir. Thank you.
congratulations, not only you, but Coach Smith, the entire team. Our gracious host also sent in another question. He said, you made a statement at the selection party that we aren't just going, to Dayton to play. We're going to win. How do you feel about this matchup coming up against Lehigh?
We don't really know much about Lehigh, but we're gonna get more into them tomorrow. But we going into every game as it's another game. Let's D up. Let's try to hit them first. Let's get in and let's win. Like I
Mm-hmm.
know the expectations is probably for us not to go far, but we don't care about that. We're not finna just go to a tournament just say we've been there. No, we want to go to the tournament and say we won the tournament too. We won both tournaments.
Mm-hmm. And I know you probably already expecting this, but Lehigh, and I watched some of the interviews that they said that Coach Brett Reed, the coach over there, he said that they're going to really key on and have like a comprehensive game plan revolving around Prairie View, right? So I'm already expecting, I know you probably are as well, that they're going to have a pretty intense focus on you, being the main scorer of the team. When you kind of expect that intensity to be on you, what is kind of your mindset going to, like, okay, I know that they're going to be really keyed in on me, or is that going to be more where you kind of try to play make, or without giving too much of the scheme? You never know who could be listening, but what kind of goes in their mind that they're going to be focused on you?
It's just another day, another dollar. Go ahead, try to key in. I got Scoop Joseph. I have Lance Williams. I have Corey Wells. It's like okay, that's how I feel going into the game. Every game, I know they're gonna key in on me. Okay, it's either I'm gonna get mine or they gonna get theirs, or we all gonna get ours. So
I
you
love
can
that.
you can do that. You can do that. I mean, I'm not gonna run from it. I like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Dr. P, I want to turn it over to you because I figure you do have some strong thoughts about this upcoming game against Lehigh and kind of what you also are expecting in this game.
Yeah. Well, I do have some thoughts, but I have some other things I want to talk about first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dontae, which uniform
Hmm.
is your favorite, bro? I love those
Black.
black jerseys.
I want everything black. Yeah,
Bro, those
I like
black
it.
jerseys look clean on TV, brother. Tell us which ones are your favorite.
Black. What y'all gonna say? I want everything black. I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Them black jumps go crazy. The black jumps.
They
I
are.
think we all like the black jumps. I think we play better in the black uniform.
So y'all gonna push the issue and say we need to wear black jerseys first round?
They should.
They absolutely should. They look good on TV, bro.
It's
Did we
Think we
lose them?
lost them again.
We'll give them a second.
Yeah. Yeah, but those black jerseys, when I noticed they was back in those black jerseys, I made a tweet about it. I was like, oh yeah, it'll be about
They
that
look crisp, bro.
yeah.
Am I back yet? Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like people just keep calling me. But no. I like we love the black jerseys. We love the black jerseys. Them black jerseys just give us a look. I don't know. I
Man,
don't know.
they are dope. The fit, they look crisp. The names on the back, the font, the black jerseys are it,
And the shoes you can put with them.
and the shoe combination with them. Yep, yep, yep. I knew you were gonna say that. I just had to ask for my personal just to see exactly what you would say. But I knew y'all love those black jerseys. Y'all go
Yeah,
off too much.
yeah, we love them black jerseys. We always every time we go away. Can we wear the black? Can we wear the black this game? Can we wear the black this game? Yeah.
So big game coming up. You know, the tournament season. I think when I was on the yard in '98, we played Kansas, and they had Paul Pierce and the rest of those guys. Obviously, Lehigh's not that, but we have to get that win, bro. We need to get that win and advance to the next round. What do you think Coach's mindset is and his mindset will be going into this first game?
I feel like Coach gonna scout every team the same way we do. He scout other teams. Defense first, see what's their tendencies and see how they are and see how we match up against them and come up with a great defensive scheme and just gonna roll like that. Like I said, our defense get our offense going. He's not really too much worried about the offense. He's more worried about defense, which is all of us are too. So yeah.
How close are y'all to the arena where you're playing?
Honestly, I don't even know where we playing. I'm just here. I'm just ready to play. You can put me outside on a blacktop. I'm a hoop, so I'm just ready to play.
Cool. I have another question. You were 6'2" for a long time, and now we have you measured at 6'4". Is that a legit 6'4"? Did you have a growth spurt? What happened with that, and how do you feel about that size?
How long have I been 6'2"? I think. No, what happened was okay. High school, I was tall, but I don't really want that tall. Like when I went to JUCO, when I got to JUCO, that's when
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hit my spurt. And I think when I got to take stay, I was like 6'4".
Okay. All right, man. We are ready for it, man. We are absolutely ready. We can't wait to cheer you guys on. I know some Panthers are going to be in the building. I'm not going to be there personally, but I know people
Mhm.
that are caught flights and they're already en route. So PV Nation will be there. We'll be home cheering and praying that we can get this first round win for real.
Mhm.
Did you have anything? Is there anything else?
Oh no, I just want to say shout out to everybody that's watching us and rooting for us, and I hope y'all make it out here safe. And we appreciate all the support you guys are doing for us. Either if you come to the game or if you're away watching on TV, we love the support. And our goal is to win each game. So just be prepared for a W.
Man, Dontae Horne, bro, we appreciate you for choosing the Hill and bringing us a SWAC title. You and the rest of the squad, tell everybody on the team that we said thank you. We appreciate y'all.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
Coach the best of luck and go Panthers, man.
I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all again.
No doubt. God bless you.
And what a great conversation, man.
That
And
was so dope.
and man, I just this team, man. I'm just so happy for this team. I'm so proud of this team. They've come a long way this season. And a bunch of statements that coach has said that Dontae or any other player say. They went through a really rough patch. In that January, February time period, and to see them and see how they've gelled together, how they've meshed together, how the defense has started clicking as well as the offense. I mean, this is the stuff that teams can only dream of, accomplishing this, especially having that turnaround. So to have them have this turnaround and see them in the position that they're in now, ready to face Lehigh in the first four in Dayton, Ohio, maybe get a little bit of self-revenge for that 2019 loss in the first four. It's just great to see.
Yeah, I think that, the best thing about this team is that they have all the pieces, right? They have a floor general. They have a big man. They have big guards that can score at every level of the floor. They're a tough defensive-minded team. They're battle tested, as he mentioned before. Playing 4 games in 4 days and winning the SWAC tournament is no easy feat. Coach is an experienced coach who really picked himself up by his bootstraps to come back and win a SWAC title after he's had quite a few seasons of not doing as well as he would hope. And frankly, not doing very well at all, but he turned it around in the SWAC tournament. So I think that's a testament to the team that he put together, as well as himself, for having intestinal fortitude to really say that I'm not going out like that. I'm going out with a bang, if nothing else, and I'm going to win the SWAC title. So I think this team has a legitimate chance. If the ball can drop for us, I don't think we'll struggle much defensively if the ball is going in. And it's important that the ball goes in because that'll eliminate easy buckets on the other end. So, man, I'm excited to see this game and this team. I want them to continue this momentum that they got towards the end of the season and rode with through the SWAC tournament. And I'm hoping that we keep it going, man. I think we'll do well.
Yeah, and I wrote about this in my preview of the game, and we kind of touched on it with Dontae while he was still, on the show today. There's like 3 keys that they really need, because this is absolutely just a winnable game for Prairie View in general. They just absolutely need to control the pace, which of course we know Lance Williams, he can do that very well. They need to play defense without fouling, no ticky-tack fouls, because they do have a tendency to get in foul trouble, especially in those SWAC championship games and the tournament games, specifically Alabama A&M and Southern. That first half of the Alabama A&M, they were able to stick around a little bit until we took off because of the foul trouble. Southern was able to kind of get us in foul trouble and stay in that game. So if we control the pace, we don't get any ticky-tack fouls, and we push the ball in transition, this is definitely a winnable game. And I know Dr. P, you're as excited as me to see this Panthers team try to make a run in the tournament. I know I can't wait. I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to try to get off work a little early personally, so I can go get so comfortable, and watch the game and, do my usual live tweeting. So it's good. Yeah. It's good to see this Panthers team where they're at, man. It really is.
Yeah. I think another important thing is that because I remember in 2019 and obviously in 98, and also looking at other SWAC teams, one thing they do, which is a bad tendency, is to jack threes, right? We have to force Lehigh to defend, and we also have to take good shots from the floor. We can't make it easy for them by taking bad shots and then going the other way. Like you said, dictating the pace of the game best we can. So those are things that come to mind. I know Coach Smith is going to be all over those things. Hopefully the team can execute it, and I think we can, man. Dontae is a mature player. We have a very mature team, so the moment should not be too big for them. They should be able to compete at this level.
Absolutely. And I think Coach Smith is going to have this team ready to go. He's been here before. His coaching staff has been here before. These players, we heard the way Dontae was talking. They're not just going there to win. I know the rest of the team shares this mindset. They're not just going there to, play, participate. They want to win. They want to win this game, and I believe that they can win. And I know we just kind of crossed the hour mark. I know we're getting about that time.
Oh, yeah. So tell me this real quick. What are the students doing? Are they having a watch party on the yard? Is there a student?
I wish I really I've been trying to look for that, because I thought, maybe in the SWAC championship in football, they sent out a fan bus. So I was kind of trying to look if they did something similar. I know it's in order to buy all those tickets, it'll be crazy price, because, the NCAA prices aren't that cheap, as well as, the bus fare and the hotel stay and such a short turnaround. So I haven't seen much. But I'm hoping, and honestly, like you say, some people that are going to be in the, and I think I saw a tweet from Ms. Deborah Holland, shout out to her. I think she also said that, it's time for the Chicago alumni to kind of step up and make that trip down to Dayton, Ohio, the alumni up there. So I'm thinking that might be the case. I'm hearing some rumbles in the alumni groups that they're going to be, making some trips. And I know, like you said, some people going down there. So I think there's going to be some Panthers in the building. I think we definitely going to hear some loud noise for sure.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for joining us. On behalf of PV versus everybody, I'm Dr. Proctor, and my co-host is
Dorian Waller. Y'all, thank you for having me again. I love PV.
Thank you very much, man. God bless y'all. Good night.